I played a guy who played the Masters 1000 in Shanghai on a Futures. Sounds crazy? Roll the animation. What is up, Glads, and welcome back to Gladiatorstennis and to your guys' favorite series, Gladiators on Tour, Road to 280p points, a series where I take you Glads with me to professional tournaments all around the world, and you know the rest. But before we start with this video, Glads, if you're enjoying it, leave a like down below because that helps the YouTube algorithm understand that this is a fun video and it kind of pushes it into your recommendations. But no pressure, if you don't like it, don't like it. Or is it a little too early to ask for the like because you haven't seen the actual video? Well, anyways, I'll remind you about that a little further on. But anyways, it's been quite some time since I've uploaded a Gladiators on Tour episode, and I thought it was kind of time to change that. Some time ago, and by some time I mean like half a year ago, I played an official match against who's probably the highest ranked opponent that I've ever played with on an official Futures match, Tao Mu. And this guy just recently played the qualifying of the Shanghai Masters 1000, where he lost against Mikhail Kukushkin, and then not that long before that, he lost to Quarantine Multet. Not too sure how to pronounce his name properly in French, but yeah, that was a 250 event, and his usual tournaments that he plays are like challengers. Yet there I was playing in the first round of qualifying on a 25k Futures against that same guy, and you might ask, how the hell is that even possible? Well, that's because it's a Futures in Spain, and more specifically in Sabadell.
Oh, I just love playing tournaments that are next to my house where I don't have to take a flight or a train or a boat or wherever, you know, just 20 minutes before your warm-up, get in the car, boom, in the club. What sucks is that I'm playing the first seed, but you know, the victory is going to be sweeter, right? I think he's like 500 or something in the world, so that's what's interesting about ITFs in Spain. Like, this is challenger level, you know, and this is just a 25k with no empires or anything in the first round, like, of quali. Like, anyways, I'm at the club. Let's see what they got for me. Gotta say, the club itself is really beautiful. Like, I'm digging it. Let's see if I find someone I know.
I did in fact find someone I know on the courts playing a match. It was Nico. You might recognize him from some of the racket reviews where he was featured on the channel. He unfortunately lost that match in a tight battle, 10-6 on the super tiebreak.
Finished the warm-up, not feeling my best. The matches on my court, of course have to be the longest ones of the tournament. Still have one match to go, and it's been like about 2 hours since I was supposed to get on court. But yeah, I'm gonna eat something now to have some energy for the match, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, finally entering court. This being clay, they gotta clean the court first, of course. But yeah, a little bit sleepy, even though I did a quick warm-up now, but energy levels aren't where they should be.
So, Glads, facing a guy that is 500 in the world, I really didn't know what to expect. I knew it was going to be a hard match, but that was about it. So, we started the first game of the match. He won the toss and chose to serve, and in the first few points as we rally, I realized that I feel absolutely comfortable playing at this pace. I'm staying in the rally, not suffocating at any point, and sometimes even managing to pressure my opponent, taking domination of the point with risky shots, and doing so quite successfully. We get to the score of 30 all in a very progressive manner, and things get tense right away. As we approach the deuce and eventually advantage for me, I have full understanding that I can break this guy in the first game of the match right away, and I should definitely do so while he's getting on track with his game. However, him being the more experienced player, he manages to be more solid on the point of my advantage and then makes his way to the first changeover with a great serve. I did have the chance for that break, but I was absolutely not frustrated from missing that chance, and on the contrary was quite pumped and ready to fight through the game on my serve and challenge him in the next one. My opponent had a very balanced style of play. There were no obvious standouts in his game, but also no obvious flaws. All of the shots were quite solid and stable. The forehand had a really noticeable spin, and the serve was quite damaging. A very complete player overall, and it's really no surprise to me why he's ranked so high. No matter his usual stability, on the game on my serve, I really didn't have to do anything out of this world to take it. I was just trying my best to play deep, but with enough margin, and that turned out to be enough to take the first game on my serve. I was once again taking on his serve, this time with quite a bit more confidence, and as we know, confidence is key in tennis. And there we are once again at 30 all, and I gotta say, I played this point quite well. Ooh, you saw that? But then, yeah, didn't manage to return this serve back to the lab again. Yo, we're back to having that advantage to do the break, and now you're about to see something that usually never happens. Yeah, so the guy did an unforced error at a very crucial moment. Once I broke him, my confidence rose significantly, and you can kind of tell by the first point of this game. The next point didn't go as smoothly though, but even though it didn't, I still felt like I was the better player in that particular moment. I could feel I was less tense, more confident, but more relaxed at the same time, especially when it came to the strokes. My movement was smoother and therefore unforced errors were less common. Having defended my serve and gotten to the score of 3-1, it became way easier to win the points. I was super calm during the long rallies as I had some kind of internal feeling that I would win them every time, and I was super calm when it came to making aggressive attacking decisions, therefore picking the right shots 9 out of 10 times and achieving winners and forced errors from his side instead of causing unforced errors from mine. And just like that, I was 4-1 up and serving. And here on this game, surprisingly, my serve entered the chat and I was 40-15 up in no time. Although then, thanks to the combination of him playing well, certain unlucky shots, and me being a bit rushed at times, he managed to recover, make a deuce, and even get to a break point. I was honestly quite happy and slightly surprised that I managed to take it to 5-1 and defend every single game on my serve up until this point, as we all know that although 4-1 is a noticeable advantage, there really isn't a safe spot when it comes to tennis. At any point of the match, on any score, your opponent can recover and take the lead, especially when it comes to higher ranked players, and those moments usually happen when you think that the game, the set, or the match is already in your pocket. And a 4-1 is kind of one of those moments where you think, yeah, I got the set, let's focus on the second set. And there we are, set point up with no margin for mistake, as this is an ad situation, so I just have to close it here. I remember thinking to myself, alright, just keep doing what you were doing, it's clearly working for you. I focused on playing deep without risking too much and making sure I stayed as relaxed as possible. And yes, this ball is out and I'm set up against the guy that is 500 in the world. So lads, there goes the first set, and it's really not a bad start if you ask me. And while I'm taking a bathroom break, I might as well use this time to remind you of two things. First of all, I think now is appropriate time to remind you that if you are enjoying this video, feel absolutely free to leave a like down below, and I'm assuming that if you watched up until now, you probably are enjoying it, and thank you very much for doing so. And secondly, Glads, if there's absolutely anything tennis related that you would like to get for yourself or for your friends and family for the upcoming holidays, the link to get that anything tennis related is down in the description below, together with our exclusive discount code that's going to save you some cash, and that really helps the channel. But of course, do that only after we're done with the match. And talking about the match, back to the second set. And the start to the second set was great, to say the least. The good momentum carried through from the first set, and the first few points are a definite proof of that. Now, although I've started the second set quite well and haven't lost focus throughout, after this long point that Tao ended up taking, it almost seems like he gained some kind of boost in confidence and all of a sudden started producing crazy hard shots out of absolutely nowhere, even though I wasn't really doing anything wrong. So yes, the first game was lost and it was a break. I must say that this really did hit me quite a bit mentally, and even though I didn't really feel it that much playing the actual match, reviewing the footage now I can really tell that it did, as my game suddenly worsened at this point. You might notice me mentioning confidence quite a lot on most of the Gladiators on Tour videos, but especially in this one, and I actually want to take a quick moment to talk about confidence and believing in yourself. I once mentioned that in order to be better players than you on paper, you have to truly believe that you can do it. But in order to truly believe that you can beat someone better than you, you don't have to analyze both of your games, make calculations, and come to that conclusion. No, you just have to fully convince yourself that you in fact can't beat them. Simply because you are going to play that person no matter what, there's really no way back, and even if the odds of you beating that player are close to 0, the odds multiply by 1000 if you fully convince yourself that you can do it. Problem here is that you have to actually convince yourself on a conscious and subconscious levels, otherwise you're just fooling yourself. And it is quite hard to do sometimes, but if you manage to do it, oh my god, will your win to loss ratio improve drastically, and you will start beating players that in theory you shouldn't be able to beat, because we're all humans and so are your opponents. But if you convince yourself that you aren't one and rather an unbeatable emotionless machine, you will convince your opponent and become one on court. And just imagine how hard it is mentally to play against an unbeatable machine. That ball was really in. That was a funny one. Oh yeah, I said that because they wanted to stop the match because of the rain that was starting to get quite intense, but both my opponent and I just wanted to keep going. And yeah, I know what you guys might be thinking right now. Yeah, Grish, all of that smart motivational talk about convincing yourself is all it takes to beat better players, and you're getting destroyed 3-love in the second set over here. Well, yeah, but as I said, it's not an easy task sometimes, alright? I'm learning in the journey with you guys, relax. Alright, let's get out of this mess. So, it's 3-love down. I managed to give a good battle on this game, managing to hurt him quite a bit, and it's 30-all. A pretty intense moment, and let's see what happened. Wait, what? Oh.
So, as you can see, it's kind of raining outside. So they stopped our match. I was 1 set up, 5-1 down, 15-30 down serving, which is not, you know, the best outcome. But the problem is not the entire match was recorded because my camera stopped recording at some point, and because I put it on 4K and there's no way, you know, my storage just ran out, battery died, everything. I hope I got some good highlights for you, but...
So yeah, that clip interrupted because my battery died and the highlight stopped because my phone ran out of storage. But anyways, we were set to finish the match on the next day in better weather conditions.
In the club, getting ready to warm up. What's funny is that my warm up is going to be like about half an hour or so, and then I'm actually going to be playing for maybe 20 minutes because, I mean, it's just going to be, you know, a couple of games and a super tiebreak at most. So, yeah. ¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, Glads, I said it was going to be quick, not because I don't believe that I can pull it out from a 5-1 down, but because I was mentally already focused and targeted for that super tiebreak, and I really didn't care how the second set ended. Anyways, excited to see the ending? Let's get into it. I'm not gonna comment too much on the super tiebreak as it's pretty short and intense, so I'd rather just let you get in the game completely, but the start of the decider was really promising. Game, set, match. Fuck. And there you have it. And honestly, Glads, this could have been the one. It was super close, and beating such a high-ranked first seed would be quite an achievement. Yet, it went as it did. I still hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to subscribe and hit that bell, because there's more content like this coming up. And actually, on the day that this is posted, I'm playing a Futures in Madrid, so there's actually an episode of Gladiators on Tour coming out really soon, so definitely stay tuned for that, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.